All right, welcome back to another Board Drill Quick Hit. As always, I'm your host, Kyle. With me is my co-host, Matt. And Matt, we'll just go ahead and tell him this is the fourth take we're taking of this video because we keep screwing up the intro. So let's get this one right. What do you say?
It's like the first episode all over again, man.
It's a tough one. All right, so tonight we're going to talk about a recent article you had on the evolution of Notre Dame's quarterback, who obviously was a freshman this year. So, Matt, why don't you give us a quick overview of the article, and then we're going to get into watching clips.
Yeah, so when I first started watching Notre Dame, I kind of wanted to watch them all the way through the season. And as you watch them progress, you clearly see a definitive process from their offensive coordinator to implement a new quarterback, right? So we started out with screens and quick plays. Against Miami is what the majority of the play calls are. And by the end, he's taking shots. He's making progression reads. He's changing plays at the line of scrimmage. What you didn't see, they looked like a different team by the end of the football season.
Yeah.
So when you kind of progress that way through that film in a short amount of time, you're like, man, from week to week, they look different. They're gaining new attributes and features to their team. And, it was definitely structured that way to progress a young quarterback in their system. And as you see here, screen plays against Miami. Miami's an aggressive defense. I think 3 or 4 of the first 7 plays of the game was a screen, and they just screened him to death.
I felt like the entire game was a screen, to be honest with you, if you remember watching it.
Quicks and screen. If it wasn't a screen, it was a quick pass. They were getting the ball out of the quarterback's hands quick. He knew where to go. He saw leverage. Easy throws, single reads, no full field progression. So here you got a simple little snag route here. A lot of snags, a lot of sticks, a lot of hitches. Simple reads for the quarterback. Backside, he has the double slant. So you kind of get a good idea, a good feel of what Notre Dame was doing here with their quarterback early in the season.
Right, and it's a real simple read. I'm reading this dude right here. Right, and basically it's a 2 read. Right, they understand it's cover 3 pre-snap. We're going to get a guy in the flat, right? And then we're going to get a snag. So he's going to be the flat player. You're going to see the snag come in from the side and sit down here. And then we're just reading this guy. And this guy is the flat player. He's going to end up working the flat. And it's really a nice, easy throw for them.
Yeah.
Sorry, that was the snag guy who went out. Sorry, it's the tight end running back. But maybe the outside guy. I don't even know from this angle. So there you go. But either way, you get what I'm saying, right? It's better from the wide. I screwed myself there. But there's the snag right there with the flat. You can tell I was a DB. I like the wide. I don't like the end zone shot. So,
but you get a good look at it with the motion of who's going to adjust, who's going to widen, who's got flat responsibilities with that motion.
Yeah, and then the most important thing is you can tell they worked with that. Listen, young quarterbacks are young quarterbacks. All right, whether they're good, bad, whatever. Usually they're a little slower, but you can tell they rep this a lot this week because watch his. Right? Boom, it's out when it needs to be. Because if he waits any longer, that Will or Mike is pushing towards that window. See? So he does a really, really good job there. Here's stick, just like you're saying, a little 2-man stick down here at the bottom. Same thing, right? Guy doesn't get out to the flat quick enough. He's mugging here. This will tell you right away, throw the flat, right? If the guy you think is the conflict player is mugging and they're in cover 3, which they're very clearly in it here, throw the flat.
Yep. And they had it both sides, right? Top and bottom of the screen. But yeah, you get the walked up linebacker. That becomes very easy that you can get that advantage on him, get the ball out quick.
Yep. Nice RPO here. Sorry. You wrote RPO.
Yeah, it's an RPO. Pretty much.
Slash that.
We got that GT kind of... here.
Yep.
Yeah, we got a form of GT here, and I forget what he calls it, the offensive coordinator there, but they're just running the little across the field, bringing the guy all the way across, trying to create conflict from the defenders and get the ball out in the arrow route.
Yeah. What does Dan Casey call it? The slide route out of, or whatever it is, or
he calls it slide. The offensive coordinator at Notre Dame, he had a whole different terminology. I actually went and looked it up. just because I was like, I wonder what he's calling this.
Yeah.
Of course, I forget it.
Yeah, it's
I'll
all right.
come over there here in a second.
All right. So then
Copy.
as we get
Calls
through.
it copy.
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 There you go. Copy
Copy's
that.
coming across. Yeah.
So now we see the play action game coming into it with the sail route.
Yeah. I think we're about week 3 here, and they start opening them up, right? And they start giving them some freedom to take those shots. They've shown the screens. They've shown the quicks. You obviously can't live through the season with just that, right? So they give them the ability on simple reads. Once again, we're not full field progression. We're not changing things at the line. We're a simple sail route here.
With Max Pro, by the way.
With max protection.
Yep.
And get the ball to one of 2 receivers, you know?
And really, this is a quarter speeder, right? I mean, I can tell you from being a quarters guy who's coached it, right? Post by outside by number 1, and then the sail route by number 2. A lot of times, and you'll see kind of here, right? They're both open. He throws that sail route on time. It's a great completion. Now he gears up and throws a ball here on the post. I mean, they don't get much better than that. We can watch the end zone view.
The dude can throw.
He can
no
throw.
Doubt.
He's got some arm talent. You see it right there. Boom. It's on time. It's beautiful. It's right over that shoulder. I mean, it doesn't get much better in that throw. So, but I think, like you said, this is just really smart play calling and progression, right? We know we're going to get quarters, some kind of quarters. Let's run sail. Let's max protect. We think our guy's better than theirs. You know, all that stuff put together.
Yeah. Simple reads.
And then, like you said, another simple read. You know this, right? It's you got the double move on. Take it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, when you call that, you're going for that. That's a shot play. So hey, we're gonna let this guy open up his arm by doing simple reads, simple plays, 1-2 man routes. Take advantage of the defense.
And I think what I like about it is, you know, he gives this guy a chance here, right? He does a good job he puts it out there. He doesn't underthrow it, but he doesn't overthrow it here, right? He kind of makes sure your guy catches the ball here. And because the guy's open, and he's open much more than even this picture feels like he is, but he's open. Make sure you throw a good throw there. All right, now Arkansas, we're getting to midway point of the season here, maybe a little past midway, right?
Yeah, we're getting there. I'm sorry, I did not memorize their schedule. But yeah.
All right, so we got
this is where they start to break it open to full field reads. You know, you see a lot more mesh over routes, or I'm sorry, Y cross, typical air raid style stuff now out of the quarterback.
You know, it's funny. We just talked with Coach Emery the other night, right, about this, right? The OTB route, about how people should throw it more because it gets open a lot. And here it is. Real late. Does a nice job being patient, throwing the OTB route right there.
Yeah, and the guy even kind of stumbles, settles, gets there.
But there it is on mesh rail again, right? Conversation we had the other day, mesh rail. They do a good, right? Everyone's now on defense cognizant of the rail, right? When we get the 2x2 and we're into the boundary and the running back set to the boundary, hey, man, watch them on the rail. Every defense knows that now. And here we go, right? Mesh rail. We're going to run with the rail. No one for the OTB.
Especially got Jeremiah Love set so wide.
Correct.
Yeah, he's running the rail there. Got an empty set here. What do we get? Oh, a little dusty double under.
Yeah.
Yeah. A little dusty route, double in, corner out over the top. Typically, was it stubby or something that you guys typically run?
Yeah, they're in man free here though.
Yeah, but that's what you typically want to do. But
it destroys stubby, by the way. If you need a stubby beater and you're an offensive guy, run this.
You're getting man coverage on number 3. The guy's inside leverage. Beautiful route here.
And when I first watched this, I was like, "Oh, give the guy a chance to score." And I get that he gets interfered with, but then I went back and watched it. And you break it down, right? He's releasing the ball right here. The guy's just now leaving his break. It's a great play by the quarterback. I was a little harsh, watching it real time. Like, oh God, give him a chance. But it's like, well, he did.
Ball.
I know. So I was a little, I guess, not upset, but I was a little like, oh, come on, man. And then you go back and like, no, never mind. He's throwing that perfectly. So. Thought it was good evolution by this kid. It pains me to say because one of my friends is a big Notre Dame guy. I'm gonna have to say this kid's pretty good, which sucks.
He is pretty good.
Yes, he is.
Gonna have to hear it for a couple years.
Yeah. So here's the mesh rail now.
Here's your rail again. There you go. Mesh rail, getting to the running back out in the flat.
Well, right. Just realize who you got. Right. You got a dude. Hey, if he's open now, just go ahead and get him the ball.
Yeah,
and sometimes dudes do things.
defense sending pressure from the boundary. That should be auto. Get rid of it right now. Quarterback does the right thing.
Which it's just uncharacteristic of a young kid to do this, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you just replace pressure with the throw. I mean, he makes it look easy. I mean, look at this. It's just fluid. Okay.
Flips it out there. But like you said, like this is building to this point. He Correct. Wasn't doing this week 1, 2, 3. Now mid season we're getting there to where he's doing this, right? So we see these changes in the offense. We see the changes in the quarterback, the ability to do this. Now he may have been able to do this week 1 and they just didn't, right?
Correct.
They held off. But they built the quarterback's confidence and they developed the right way. Even though they lost a couple of first 3 games, they lost 2 of them, Texas A&M and Miami, and probably put himself in a bad spot for the season. They developed the quarterback the right way.
Yeah. And I think, that's a pretty important thing because, people will talk about it, but man, if you destroy a quarterback's confidence early, it's hard to recover, man. They are, they're fickle people, man. So here we go now again to that kind of boot action, but no, it's the old Sark throwback screen, right?
Throwback. Had to throw this in there.
2 years ago, this was like the thing.
I threw this in here, Coach, because we saw the screens at the beginning of the season, and it's almost like teams were ready, right?
Yeah.
So it's hard for them to throw a screen pass at this point. So here comes the evolution of the screen. Let's do the old Sark throwback. And when you got those running backs, that's hard to beat.
Yeah, and to be honest with you, it's hard. I don't care who you are, and I'm not just trying to praise this kid, but it's hard to make this throw.
It is.
Running one direction, turn around, kind of blindly try to locate the guy and throw it. It's a much tougher throw than people think. I challenge you to go out in the backyard and do it with your kid. It's pretty tough.
Coach, I'm
watch
be
it
honest,
here from back in.
One of the better quarterbacks I've watched over the last year, watching film, and he was a redshirt freshman.
Yeah.
Really didn't expect it from him when we put on the film, but
yeah, neither did I. It's a little dash look right here.
Beautiful throw here. He just rolls right a little bit.
No, Coach, it's dash. Watch his pre-snap read to the top. There's his pre-snap read. Takes it. Go.
Oh yeah, it is.
And they pin it, right? They full slide. And they pin. It's dash, Coach.
You're right. They did pin him. I was watching the running back. They had the wing there pinning the end. Yeah, absolutely. A little dash action.
Which again, I think shows the progression. I know dash is simple, but again, we're going to read the single. Now we're going to roll to the concept. Throws the sail rod here nicely. Again, I just think the evolution, like you're talking about, you can see it from game to game. And I guess to an extent, the evolution of the play calling as well.
Yeah. And they get more comfortable with him. That's part of it when you have a quarterback. It's not just what he can do, it's what you're comfortable with him doing.
Yeah.
And, I've never seen it more evident with a team than Notre Dame this year.
And I like this right here. Watch the settle. Right? A lot of quarterbacks say, hey, I think he's pinned. I can get outside of this. Instead, he just says, hey, I'm going to hitch up right here and just make a good throw. those are the little things that I think that young quarterbacks don't typically do.
You were completely right. That was dash, and I didn't even recognize it.
Look at the defensive guy understanding dash. Slot fade. It's just pretty.
Yeah, and I put this on here. You know, we saw 1 to 2 receiver reads earlier in the season. Now, even on the simple throws, we got 4 or 5 receivers en route. So,
and watch him. Right, I know what he's doing here, but he's just going to peek this backside safety to make sure he's not rotating to the middle of the field. Right, that's not like a late cover 3. Watch him peek the backside safety here.
Yeah, and if you read the article, that's what I talked about in the article. Watch him manipulate the safety with the eyes, even if he just stares them down. Correct. He seems to be very good at staring down the safety to freeze them, not even moving them, but just looking at them, freezing the safety, and going the opposite way. Just enough. Yep. A similar thing here with the seam route. Stares down the safety.
This is just
gives them enough time to get the seam route out. Great ball.
And I think this is one of those of understanding, right? Defender's back is to me, let it rip.
Mm-hmm.
Right? What's the worst thing I do? Hit him in the back of the head with it? This is a hell of a throw.
Great ball.
Yeah, they don't get much better than that. I mean, look. It looks like it disappears behind the defender's hand. That's pretty good.
And this was just him checking at the line. You know, notice he came up a little bit before this, checked at the line, and changed the play up.
Now, this one was a little tougher game. They got him a couple times in this game because I remember breaking down Pitt's defense. They caught him on maybe one of the best coming across the field on a shallow play I've ever seen. Guy comes from the opposite hash and picks the dig on the shallow. But yeah, I mean, this is him, the evolution of it, right? Is him getting them in the right play. And now him checking, right? It was screens, then it was more complex thing, then it's him checking out the line of scrimmage, him doing a few other things. Right, doing the different things that make the quarterback well. And I think that was a big part of your article. Is not only do you think it was great by this young man, but it's a great job coaching too. It's a great job evolving with a young quarterback, which is a tough thing to do. I've never had to do it. I'm not an OC, but it's probably one of the hardest things an OC has to do is adapt to young quarterbacks.
Yeah, it is. And you in high school you really don't know what you have. I guess in college you know a little bit more about what you have coming in. Coach Denbrock at Notre Dame did a great job getting his quarterback in. I feel like he knew what he had and knew what he could build, knew where he was going with it. And sometimes as a high school coach, you really don't know what he can and can't do until you open him up and let him go. Yeah. So, you always want to try things, but, you don't want to go too far. You don't want to set him up for failure. And, that's that kind of line you play with.
I love it. Well, if you want to check out the full article, go see it on www.boardrill.com and check out all of the rest of our articles that we write weekly. Usually we get minimum 2 out a week. Every once in a while we get 3 or 4. We also post all of our content on boardrill.com, also on YouTube. So check us out, like and subscribe. We appreciate the support, and we'll see you next time on another Board Drill Quick Hit.